This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the president of Palamina Corp, Mr. Andrew Thomson. Andrew, how are you this afternoon?
Very good, thank you.
The last time we spoke was right towards the end of September. You had reported the discovery of 4 visible gold zones at the Veta project, where chip sampling returned up to 620 grams per ton gold and channel sampling up to 1.8 meters of 19.6 grams per ton gold. You now have located a new gold zone called the Cayos Gold Zone, which is about 1.5 kilometers south of the Veta gold discovery. Some pretty good numbers, including 3 meters of 30.5 grams per ton. Can we talk a bit about today's results and what that means?
Yeah, as we're still working the Veta zone, we're obviously carrying out regional programs, and we had previously identified 9 zones that we sort of prioritized from weak to strong, and Veta is obviously one of the stronger areas. So the way that it works on this property is we seek the permission from the surface rights owners, and one of the areas that we visited is this new Cayos Gold Zone. And so, we said, I'm not exactly sure how much time they spent there, but it was no more than 2 days, and it was probably over a day or two. And we had the saw there, so we elected to do some composites. There's some adits that we're not sure whether they're exploration or mining adits. They're informal areas. So there's an area here that looks as if somebody's tried to do something. It's not anything significant. So we did some composites there. Again, when we got the, above 10 gram and 16 gram material. And then we also did some channel sampling in areas that were of interest, all along this rock face. And again, the area covers about 200 to 300 meters. Then we did some rock chip sampling. And we put in all the values that we received. But I think if you look at the values, they're all very encouraging, that there's other zones on the Kawasa property that host significant values. And again, the 3 meters of 30 grams is the best channel we've had. So we're trying to decide now what to do with this new zone, because we're still fairly busy in the Veta zone and the Fusca zone, in addition to which we've just completed, or we're just about, at Kawasa, we've completed the airborne. So that data is being processed, and we should have that data as well to help assist us in understanding all these structures.
So you mentioned that all of these zones are part of the Kawasa Gold project, and the analogs are Olachea and La Rinconada. And let's be clear, it's early days at Kawasa, but there are some striking similarities that I know have you and the team excited. Can you explain those for people that are not familiar with either Olachea or Rinconada and why they're important?
Well, again, I'm not a geologist, so I'll do as best I can, but the Olachea deposit and Rinconada deposits are both structurally controlled, as is the Kawasa area. Again, we don't have a deposit, but at the end of the day, our team has, they did 81 kilometers of drilling at Olachea, so they have a keen understanding. There's a lot of similarities, obviously, on Kawasa. In addition to which, it's all exposed. There's, it's beyond the tree line, so we can see most of the structures. So from our perspective, again, we picked it up looking for what are known as jog zones in these mesothermal systems. So this is areas where, in our particular case, there's an east-west trend, and when these areas, when you get that sort of S shape where, it pulls apart, that's where we're seeing mineralization. So we've recently hired a structural geologist. He's Peruvian, to go out. We've got a third-party report guy that we're going to bring out further along. But he's started to do some preliminary analysis based on what our understanding is, and he's found an intrusion. And, it's starting to look, we've always maintained that there's a feeder zone, i.e. one of these jog zones, but we're starting to be able to define those. So it's exciting from the perspective, it hosts the property, in our opinion, hosts the potential to possibly have, again, orogenic systems can go down 1 kilometer, 2 kilometers of mineralization. They tend to be vertical. So, if there's a feeder system of that sort where there's a trap, it gets pretty exciting. So that's what we're looking for, and we're seeing more evidence of it.
So I'm not a geologist either, but I will go ahead and agree with you. Now, this is one of 5 district scale land packages that you've put together. Obviously, that means a lot of news flow here. What can we expect over the several coming quarters, Andrew?
Well, again, I think what we're most excited about is we're the first guys to do airborne in the belt, specifically heli-borne geophysical surveys, and we did 125 meter line spacing here at Kawasa. So, we're going to combine that with the data that we have in addition to, a structural report that we'll be generating in order to try and pick drill holes. And, again, we're looking to try and drill in the spring of next year. Permitting is underway in addition to a 43-101, which is just being completed. So it's a lot of activity at Kawasa. We just completed the acquisition of a fairly significant data package with a group that I won't mention, but we're combining that. They cover a lot of the Bendy, Corey, and Gaban areas in terms of things like stream sediment sampling. When you look at the fact that we've also flown Gaban and Corey and our understanding of that area to date, it will fill in the blanks very quickly, and then we've got some sampling programs under. We've got a very small sampling program that's been carried out at Bendy. So, we're very active.
Fantastic. Andrew, exciting times in a tough resource market, but I always say the money is made similar to real estate when you buy, not when you sell. And got to think that we're pretty close to a bottom here, judging by the commentary amongst even the most ardent of gold bugs.
Yep. No, I agree with you. I think you're separating the men from the boys, obviously. Money's tight, but you're seeing a lot of M&A, and there's a lot of need. We are seeing a lot of the senior groups looking way down the pipe, including at companies like ourselves. And, I think it bodes well in the sense that I think Peru is going to do equally well as Ecuador has been doing, and I think we're starting to see that spill over. So I think our timing is very good, and I think the concept of being drill ready next spring is I think we'll reap rewards from it.
I agree with the men from the boys sentiment. I'll add the woman from the girls as well, just to be fair, because we do that around here. Andrew, thank you very much for your time.
Okay, thanks, Ben.
Appreciate it.